Well, obviously you've got two components in this privacy argument. On one side you've got vendors, suppliers and companies, and on the other hand you've got the individuals. And historically, of course, that's been mediated through government and regulation. And what we've got at the moment is potentially massive clashes between these three parties: the interests of business, the interests of consumers and the regulators. One of the biggest pieces of research on this was done by Boston Consulting Group, and they found, when they asked people, that 75% rated privacy as a very high priority issue. So regardless of what actual behaviour is in relation to apps and so on, underlying there's a big concern. They also found surprisingly little difference between age groups. Digital issues don't get the attention they deserve at board level. There's not a great deal of what we might call digital literacy at board level. And unfortunately, this question, which is at the intersection of kind of corporate social responsibility and technology, suffers from a double whammy of perhaps lack of interest, would be the most polite way of putting it. You can never isolate the technology from the people and the processes. And I think it's the way these three interact together. The people, both internally and customers, the processes, which again both internal process and the legislative and if you like customer interaction side. So I very rarely ever see things as being technologically caused or technologically solved. I think the thing that surprised me when I went through the Information Commissioner's Office advice to developers, small developers of apps, was just how extensive the knowledge has to be if you're an app developer. It's very clearly laid out, impressively clearly laid out, but I can see, we're in Tech City, right close to where lots of web developers are. I could just see them when they read this at lunch, they read a PDF file at lunchtime. I could see their eyes glazing over because they're simply not used to this type of constraint. And to me, it's the price of doing it. If you want to be an app developer, you've got to understand the law and the regulation on data privacy. And the survey they've done has shown that the great bulk of apps developers are not even aware of that.